With just 3 short weeks until inauguration, House and Senate Republicans are at odds over how to tackle Trump's 2025 agenda. As you heard on the show last week, top GOP lawmakers are split on their reconciliation strategy, with some pushing to tackle border and energy first and punt tax cuts to the end of 2025, while others pushing for everything in one big package. Here is what Wisconsin Senator Ron Johnson told Maria on the show last week.
The tax package is going to take more time. I don't want to just continue. I just don't want to extend the current complex tax system. We have till the beginning of 2026 to do it. We should take our time. You don't need the incentive of securing the border to avoid a massive tax increase.
But Americans for Tax Reform President Grover Norquist out with this warning, quote, Republicans can kiss their House majority goodbye if they delay Trump's tax cuts. He joins me now. And Grover, here's the question. Even if they did push it towards the end of the year, they still would have the majority in the House and the Senate, and you've got a Republican president. So why are you concerned about them waiting several months, trying to figure out other pieces of the more immediate future for spending first?
Because we've done stupid twice before. When Reagan was elected, his tax cuts didn't take full effect until January of 1983. And in until 1983. In 1983, we had 4 million jobs created, which in a much smaller workforce. It was wonderful. That took place after 1982, the election in November, when we lost 25 House seats, because the growth came in 83, not in 81 and 82. Move forward to the Trump years. Trump, 2017, put the bill forward. It wasn't signed until December 22nd, end of 2017. What happened? Tremendous growth. We had growth, 6.8% growth for the median family income, more than all 8 years of Obama. Absolutely amazing. When? 2019. What was that? After the Republicans lost 40 seats in the House of Representatives and lost control of the House. It's delaying the effectiveness of the tax bill. It's delaying when businessmen and women deciding today, am I going to hire somebody? Should I buy a new truck, buy additional cars, buy new computers, invest? What should I do? I don't know, because they're talking about other things in Washington, D.C., and they'll get to the tax bill. I guess when they get to the tax bill, I'll know whether to invest. And that doesn't show up in job creation for a year, 2 years, sometimes more. They need to move yesterday.
Earlier this week, Senator Rand Paul came out with his annual Festivus report, highlights more than $1 trillion of government waste spending. Some examples: $10,000 to fund a bearded lady on ice cabaret show, $419,000 to study lonely rats, $32,000 for breakdancing. Are you optimistic that DOJ is going to be able to tackle reckless government spending like this when the new administration takes over? And not just the reckless spending, but then also, what are we going to do about Social Security and Medicare and Medicaid?
Yeah, I think DOJ, what they're looking to do in highlighting wasteful spending and looking for opportunities. Go around this town in Washington, D.C. There are empty government buildings that we keep, that we have security for, that we pay leases on, and government workers are not coming to work because their unions say we don't have to come to work, we'll call in. That's why if you call the IRS, they don't answer the phone because the guy at home not answering the phone is at the pool, not in his office talking to you. There is a huge amount of waste. There are too many government employees. Federal government employees get paid a lot more than regular citizens with real jobs do when you count their amazing pensions, the few hours they actually work in a week or in a year, and the benefits that they get on top of their pay. So there's a lot of overspending by Washington, D.C. And what do we have now that we didn't have before? Twitter, X, the ability to focus on this. CBS can't say, shut up, ignore it, because we're past waiting for CBS to tell us something happened.
Well, okay. So, obviously, I'm curious if you think that, like we've heard, like Rand Paul, we can cut $1 trillion. Vivek and Elon Musk, we can cut $2 trillion. How optimistic are you that we could really do this? Because Congress has to approve this. Right now they're fighting about the speakership. So,
okay, do we get $1 trillion or $2 trillion? I don't know that you get that much at the first cut, but some small steps forward for crying out. Block granting Medicaid out to the states and simply saying it grows with inflation. That's $600 billion over a decade, simply by doing exactly to Medicaid what Bill Clinton did for aid to families with dependent children. Block grant it to the states and cap its growth. There's lots of savings to be made.
All right, Grover Norquist, thank you so much for being here. We really appreciate it.